the first, I have to tell you, dear friends, I came to this country and I decided I will be part of this country. If I came over here, I have to be part of this country, and I have to take the culture in, learn the culture, learn the language, and be one of them.
It's called assimilation.
Assimilation, but you know, a lot of people come, and I'm not judging, God forgive me, but a lot of people come and they go to their community, they don't learn the language.
They don't assimilate though.
They
So
don't.
you assimilated.
I told myself I'm going to part of this country. I will love and respect these people.
God bless America.
That's why I
That's
always
her
say,
favorite saying.
God bless America. Hello, dear friends.
Hello.
You are with Manushak and Tanya. Tanya and I were talking about how to raise children. And I said to Tanya, you know, Tanya, I wish I raised my children like my father raised us. And start telling Tanya how he did. He never gave a lecture of teaching. Oh, sorry, the road is very wavy and we're going waves. I said he never gives us a lecture. But when I graduated high school, my father told me, you know, Manushak, we babied you a lot. Now it's time to be independent, and it's time to be going away from the home. For me, that's a catastrophic.
How old were you?
I was 17.
So that's
It was catastrophic. I never lived without my family, without my brothers. My brothers were treating me like a little princess, and everybody else too. If I was late, my brothers will do everything to get me on time wherever place I go. My shoes needs to be polished, my brothers will polish. My dress needs to be ironed, they will do it. They will do everything for me. And my father says, no, you need to go away, different place, different city, and live alone. 17, I had to leave and go college. My father took me. He found me an apartment where I can live and left me.
Was that with Rosanna and her sister?
Yeah, but they're not with them. He found some lady in her house. She gave me a room. And there and that another girl was from my country, from Abkhazia, at that lady's house. She was Armenian too, but she was going different college. She was she was studying physics, and I was studying nursing. I don't know this girl. I don't know these people where my father left.
There was no cell phones.
No cell phones.
No internet.
No internet. That's true. I start crying. Yeah, I got into nursing school, and I'm going college in Russia. I went to Armenian school, dear friends. Everything.
Wait,
I
for
studied.
grade school you're talking about, or for college?
I
Your
went
Armenian
to
school was what grade?
from kindergarten to high school.
Okay, so that you need to clarify that because it sounds like it was college. Armenian.
Oh no, I went to Armenian school from kindergarten to high school. I graduated Armenian school. All the courses were in Armenian language, except we were learning Russian language every single day. Russian language and literature.
And then you went to college and it was all in Russian, probably.
Yes.
Ooh.
All the physics, anatomy, everything in Russian.
So you had two learning curves.
Yes,
Russian language and then the new content.
exactly.
That's a lot.
So,
And moving out.
from my comfort zone. In the beginning, I would be late.
You?
Yes.
You?
To my school. because there wasn't no brother who would drive, no father who will drive to school. Nobody will polish my shoes. Nobody will iron my dress. Then I start learning, and then I had to do some paperwork, those Soviet stuff. And I'm crying. I'm calling my father, Papa.
Calling him probably wasn't easy either. Did you have to go to the booth, or did that lady have a phone in her house?
The lady had a phone in the house, and I would call my father's office.
Oh, okay.
I would call my father almost every day and cry how much I'm miserable and how much I wanted. And my father said, Manushak, you need to learn a life. You a girl, you're going to be married sometimes in your life.
Sometimes means more than once.
Sometime in your life you're going to marry, and you don't know what kind of life is preparing for you, God. And you need to be independent, so you don't rely on men, you don't rely on anybody, and don't, you know, when a woman relies on somebody, that's a problem, he said. That's a big problem, because you never will be independent, and you will be turned out like a mirror, like men want to, because you saw in
Impressionable?
no, not
Incapacitated?
yeah, you will be incapacitated, and people do whatever they want with you. Manipulate, lie, and you will be relying, зависеть, как сказать,
Hanging on.
not hanging, relying,
Hanging on.
yeah, maybe.
Hanging on their neck. No? That's what you're trying to say, I think.
That's a different word I wanted to say, but I forgot. I know the word, I forgot. So he said, you need to be individual. Dependent. Зависимый это dependent. He said, you have to be free individual, free spirit. Even if you married and you have a very good husband who does everything for you, you still have to be independent woman. He said, that's what I'm trying to do with you. Otherwise, you will be in the lost world. Not forever. I will be life, and not forever. I'm going to do everything. And your brothers will have family, and they will take care of their wives and their children. You supposed to be free individual. That time I was crying, thinking my father is so brutal with me. But and then when truly I got married, I realized how wonderful my father was, and how wonderful he taught me how to be independent woman, how to live life. And he was like constantly giving me examples and constantly teaching life. I'm not going to bring all the examples right now, but I mean, this is what really nice was in my life, that my father really taught me. So
So you had to stand on your own 2 feet.
yes, but coming to United States, Tanya, I had same thing. Again, I went to nursing
I'm
school.
not laughing because you had like a repeat. Then yeah, go ahead. Sorry, nursing school in another language, which
And
wasn't your native language.
Yeah, the school was teaching us Russian language and German language. Armenian language was the main. Second main was the Russian, because it was Soviet Union. We were in a part of Soviet Union, and a third language was Deutsch. German language. And here I'm marrying a man from America. I know 2 English words, yes and no. coming to United States. That's a different story.
That's a novel.
And then I am deciding, after my 4 boys were born, I decided, my father was right. I need to go back to school. I need to be individual, independent woman, even though my husband is a wonderful man. But he has a good job, but I have to. I must have to.
You must not have to say that. You must just do it.
Yes.
I'm going to be your grammar teacher right now.
Must do it. I knew you don't have to say I must have to, because they both mean same, but the must is more stronger. That's why I said that way. Grammar teacher. Yeah, and I went to school. Yes, I was learning English parallel with nursing.
She studied day and night, people. Day and night. Like, I could not get a hold of her for, what was it, 2 years?
Yes.
Once in a blue moon, which is like once in a really rare time, I talked to her. Normally when I'd call, her husband would answer, and then I would talk to her husband, see how she's doing, and you survived on cappuccinos and kettle corn, I remember.
Yes, kettle corn and cappuccino.
Kettle corn in Germany, because I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I said I found the popcorn, that kettle corn, and I'm like, oh, this is so good. And I had a cappuccino machine that very chintzy, that glass foamer, not foamer, that's a container where you foam and plus put a cappuccino leaking, like a $30 cappuccino machine.
Did it work for you then?
Yes, that time it's worked. We did not have cell phones that time. Very rare people had.
And Starbucks was not everywhere. Like, there was no,
Starbucks in my city where I lived. So I was surviving on that. And I remember I would sit until 2 a.m. in my library and study in the library, and sometimes I would fall asleep because I would take, those days there wasn't a Google Translator, so Joe bought me a translator. That was a machine which would translate, but it will translate.
Joe's her husband.
On British English. But still, I would put the word in and it will tell me in Russian what that means. So, and I will write it in my study book with the pencil over the word Russian. So can you imagine, I have to read 150 pages each class and translate first and then read again to understand what really they meant. And memorize in English language.
And she had a 1-year-old at home.
Yeah.
And 3 other kids. But the 1-year-old was
my children would come, and 2 a.m. I would come to home, have again another cappuccino, and sit next to the desk on the 2nd floor. And my children all will come sit around me on the floor and hold my legs and sleep. That was I would start crying. That was for me very dramatic. That's Manushak's story.
That's a piece of Manushak's story. That's not all of Manushak's story.
Yes.
That's a sliver.
I love you all. Okay, dear friends.
We're headed to O'Hare to get her son from his trip from Armenia. So we'll see you next time. Sending you lots of love and
health and happiness to you, dear friends. If you're healthy and happy, that's what matters. of us peace, health, and happiness. That's what I think all the time with Tanya. Bye bye.